Hello my friends, welcome back here on the Pistacchio Graphic channel. For today I'm very excited. I achieved the 300 subscribers here on YouTube. Thanks for everyone that helped me to achieve this mark. And the video of today is the 12 constraints on Fusion 360. It's a go over all the tools that we use here on Fusion 360 that constrain on the 2-scat environment. This video was suggested that a friend of mine asked me to do to explain a little bit more about these tools. Thanks a lot. The Instagram of him I'm showing in the screen. Consider to follow him on Instagram. Let's start. Stay here to the final part of this video because I have a bonus trick for these tools. We can start here in constraints. This constraint I used a lot here on my videos is the vertical and horizontal tool. That means if I have these 4 points, I used this constraint on my video that I create a NEMA 17 model. I created these 4 points to create the holes and threads for the screws to fix the NEMA 17 motor. The card of these videos is here above. I use that to constrain these points to a vertical relation, on a horizontal relation, another vertical and another horizontal. With that I can apply the measurement here. Create another one, select first, divide by 2, and another, select the dimension, divide by 2. I made that in that video. That is easier to constrain points on the vertical and horizontal. In another video that I made the board chess, I create a relationship between lines. Clicking in the lines that I have create a relationship that horizontal and vertical. That is the most common use for this tool. And another one, if I want to constrain this central point of the circle in a relation of this point, I can apply the center point with this point horizontal. But if I need to change the relation on a vertical return, I can move the object near the vertical and now apply the relation. That means the relation takes the near way to be constrained. If it's easier to be vertical, that will happen. Another situation that I use here on the channel is to apply the horizontal or vertical constraint on these polygons. This is a very common situation to constrain and apply some dimensions here, for example. Another tool that we use a lot here on the constraints is the Coincident tool that allows us to fix a point on a circle, for example. That means that I can rotate this point and the point is always on the border of the circle. Or return here. We can apply a coincidence with 2 lines. Apply a coincidence in the line that remains a relation of these lines here. Even they don't touch, or apply a relation here in the center of the circle. They are always connected here. If we want to delete this relation, click in the right button and delete. They are not. relation anymore. The next is the tangent. I made a video using this tool that was the connect tool. For the tangent tool, we saw that this can be coincident in the center, and this circle can be horizontal and horizontal that we saw in this video. And to apply the tangent, we need to click on the line and click in the circle. Other one, click here, here, and here. We can apply in another way these lines in these circles. That means if I resize these circles, they have a relation of tangent. The next, it will be the equal constraint that can be applied. Click on the line, click in another line. That means these two lines will be in the same dimension. If I apply a dimension here, the other one will be the same. To apply an equal, we can select all these circles, holding the shift button here, and apply the constraint equal, and apply some dimensions here. That will resize all the circles that use this relation. We always use this relation with lines in polygons. That line and that line was the same. Apply a dimension here, and this will resize the another object. The parallel constraint we can use in two lines here that remains parallel, or apply on the polygon with this example, something like that here, that we use a lot on these projects here. To constrain the angles between this polygon, we can apply another constraint, that is the perpendicular, that make this a 90-degree constrained. Just click in the first line and the second, here, here, and here. We apply a 90 degrees constraint. For the next will be the fix and unfix tool. If we apply a tangent here, a relation, I can move the line, the circle, but in some case we can have a difficulty to move these two objects here. And if we need to fix one object, we can click here in the fix, here in the circle. Now we can resize and can't move this, but I can move the line freely. And can't apply a dimension for this object that use this constraint. To unfix the object, click on the object and click here. You can unfix that. Now it's freely. We can apply it to the line. The line is fixed, but the dimension can be applied here. In this case, I can just move, but this is fixed in some axis. To unfix, click the line and return. The next will be the midpoint that I use a lot here on the channel. I always use to make this. Click the line, the midpoint of the line, and click the point of reference that we use to constrain here. I can do that using the central point of the circle and the midpoint of the line. Now they have a relation. The same for the lines here. These are constrained. Or I can do that using two lines. The midpoint of this line will be centered to the midpoint of this other line. Now we have two profiles here. I can trim these two lines and use another way to constrain that in the vertical. That is, hold the shift button, pass through the line here, click and click in the point of reference. Now I have these 2 points aligned on the vertical. It's another way to constrain on the horizontal and vertical. I return here to this sketch to apply another constraint. That is, I will be creating these points and use the concentric. Concentric, I can connect two circles here using their center points. Another concentric, click in the circle, click in another circle or another arc. Now they have this relation. Another turn, this circle with this arc as constraint. To use the collinear constraint, when I create the cross above the head of the king chess, here on the channel, the card is here if you want to see this video. The collinear is that we need to make two lines in the same alignment. That we can do that. This was free, moving freely. I apply some collinear here, this line with this line. Now they are aligned. This line with that line. We are almost there. In another collinear to that collinear. Now all these lines have a relation that is easier to move and align some lines. To apply some symmetry, we can select the symmetry. In this case is when I want to make these two lines here remains aligned with the center line of this square. I can select these two lines and select the turn here. Now we'll have a relation of symmetry. I can resize this rectangle, but it remains symmetry. In that last case, we need to create a spline here. 2 points, connect 2 points, okay. In the curvature constraint, creates a relationship that this line and this spline and this line. This means that we have two kinds of smooth, a G1 smooth and a G2 smooth, that we can change the relation here on these lines and move here. I have here a bonus trick for that who remains here in the last part of the video, and it is that when I have a circle, for example, and a line here, the Fusion 360 helps us to identify what kind of constraint we can apply in this situation. When I don't have selections, all the constraints can be applied, but when I click on the circle I just can apply coincident, tangent, equal. That means that I can't apply collinear, a midpoint, or a perpendicular. Parallel don't make sense. Apply a parallel for a circle. That it means that the tools are hide. If I click in the lines, I saw that I can't apply concentric. That means that's true, I can't apply concentric. This is a trick that Fusion shows us to do the things easier. If I select both of these objects, I saw that I can apply just the fix of this. If I select all the both objects here with the shift button, clicking the line, Fusion shows that we can apply a tangent and a fix relation here in this case. That means that I can click here. That is easier to understand what kind of relation we can apply in some cases. Thank you so much to watch this video. I'm leaving here 2 suggestions videos that you can continue watching and learn a little bit more about the software. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.